March 2023, a group of researchers formed the Truth Mafia, a collective determined to investigate conspiracies and occult mysteries that have been buried for centuries. With a passion for uncovering the truth, they delve into the darkest corners of history, pop culture, and ancient mysteries, seeking answers to questions that have plagued humanity for ages. The Truth Mafia is led by Tommy Truthful, a man shrouded in mystery and intrigue, dedicated to uncovering the hidden truths behind some of the world's most perplexing and enigmatic phenomena. Their research has led them down countless rabbit holes, from deciphering ancient symbols to exploring the hidden meanings behind popular media and literature. Despite the risks and challenges they face, the Truth Mafia remains steadfast in their quest for knowledge. Will their investigations lead to groundbreaking revelations, or will they unravel an even deeper web of secrets and lies? Only time will tell in this ongoing saga of conspiracy and intrigue.
Welcome to another episode of Truth Mafia News, episode 15. Before we get going, this is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 USC 107. Do me a favor, guys. Take 2 seconds out. Click on the link down below. Go over to truthmafia.com and make sure you opt in to our daily newsletter. That way, you're getting updates and notifications when we go live, because we definitely can't count on social media to give you them updates. And today's podcast is sponsored by Body Align. They got some amazing technology over there. Use promo code Truth Mafia. There might be even better deals than with that promo code, but just make sure you use the link down below. And that's the band my dad's always wearing during the podcast, which really helps out with these frequencies. Pops.
Hey, son, can you hear me okay?
I hear you, brother. So with this, these bands here, how does that help the people with the 5G and EMF frequency?
Well, yeah, and we're going to talk about this a little bit about what's going on with the weather, about electromagnetic pollution. But the band's got the disc within the band. It's programmed with over 300 frequencies, and these frequencies are that they help the body eliminate the harmful effects of the 5G and EMF radiation. I mean, EMF radiation sickness has been around since 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G. 5G just 100-folded it. And as 6, 7, 8, 9 roll out, it is going to be a terrible situation. Let me come on and see my brothers and sisters. I missed everybody, but I had to move. Can you see me okay?
Yes, we do.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and take this background out also.
And we missed you too, brother. It's been a couple weeks.
You can see my office here. Yep. Go ahead, son.
This the new spot you're at, Dad?
Yeah, this is the new spot. I want to show all the family real quick. Let me show you all the screen. So I had at the other house, I had the office downstairs. Remember, son, where I was going to be doing most of my work? Yes, and then when we had the grandson, I didn't want to leave the top of the house. I'm like, no. I don't want to leave the top of the house. So this is what's shaking over at Papa Truthful's joint, okay? Now you want to check that monitor out right there?
Monitor, I like that. You got the curve joint going on there.
Yeah, I've had that for a couple years now. I get it on sale, man. I'm very thrifty. You know what I mean? Over here,
What's the tower look like? Where's the tower? Show them that water tower.
Oh, that will be hooked up this week. That's that thing weighs almost 200 pounds.
That thing is crazy right there.
But no, I do the internet domination and the things that we're working on, son. I'm excited to be sharing this every week with everybody so they know what's going on. And I hope everybody's getting, their food, their water, and their supplies intact, because these guys are willing to do anything crazy. And sometimes you're going to see me looking up here because I'm actually looking at myself because I'm up there. But these people are going to do some crazy stuff, and you got to be ready to go. I told Cindy, like, we had a refrigerator in here. I said, fill that one. So we took it outside in the garage and plugged it in. I said, fill that one in, fill this one up, fill the ice box up. get hundreds of pounds of rice, hundreds of pounds of beans, you know, because you can live on rice and beans. You know what I mean? You can live on rice and beans. And not that that's what I want us all to do, but we have to make sure that we are all prepared for what's going to be. This is going to shake more. The weather's going to get worse, all of that. And this is why the body line stuff, it's one of the ways that, you know, we fund, you know, what TJ is doing with the Truth Mafia, all of that. It helps us pay our team. Believe it or not, we have a team of people behind this too, that we actually pay every single month. And we have expenses and stuff like that. So we offer, you know, these solutions like Bodyline, which I'm also all, you know, transparency. I'm one of the owners of the company. And, you know, I've been involved in it since 2016. But it's another solution that eliminates pain without you know what. You know what I mean? I lost my brother. You lost your uncle, Joey, TJ, who you love very much, right? We lost him from what? Pain management doctor from all the prescriptions. And my mother died at 64 from all the side effect, all the stuff she was taking for her juvenile diabetes. So one of the things I love about Bodyline, besides the fact that you can put the disc on the back of your phone. This is the one for your phone. It should be 1 inch from the bottom, but I put it up here so I can show it. And then this one down here is what you can put on like your routers or your TV screens or your laptops. And you got to change these out about every 18 months. But when you divide, we're always having sales too, by the way. We got a sale coming up. We got sales going on all the time. You know, we're getting people so that everybody can afford to get this stuff. There's no excuse. And when you see what I'm going to be rolling out next week with, or the following week with the DPE systems, Defend Planet Earth systems, this stuff is a drop in a bucket compared to that. And we're going to be talking about all of that stuff. But, you know, EMF, you know, protecting you and yourself and your family against this electromagnetic radiation from 5G and EMF is important. And,
yeah.
You know,
and Dad, you know, matter of fact, they try to label it now as a fact check, try to put it, oh, it was on a satire website. But I remember when Snowden did the interview on this, and then they try, you know, fact check already admitted in open court that their opinion, not facts. And it goes with what my dad's saying right now. I'll show you this real quick, Dad. It's a minute clip.
And look at this shit. Edward Snowden, the WikiLeaks guy. All right, Snowden reveals HAARP global assassination agenda. All right, listen to some of this stuff. Pause it and read it for yourself. All right. Unbeknownst to victims or their loved ones, HAARP projects ultra-high-powered radio waves. Those waves operate at the same electronic frequency as the brainstem, selectively inducing deaths seemingly by natural causes, including by some appearing to coroners as innocuous as strokes or heart attacks. Also, look up here. Remotely silence perpetrators of deviant or subversive strains of thought. It's mind control. And this guy is telling it all. Share this. All right, pause it, read it, share it, like, if you want to see more.
So hey, I want to say something too, son, because I don't know who Brother David wants to speak, David Brewer. But let me talk to you about something also, in whether he thinks it's boring or it's not. We're getting attacked by frequencies left and right. What he's talking about, it's happening, man. We're getting it from our internet. We're getting it from the TV. We're getting it from the satellites. We're getting it from everywhere, man. We're getting hit left and right. And one of the most important things you have to do is protect you and your family from that, so that then you can do all the other things. Because if we don't take care of this electromagnetic pollution that's eating up our atmosphere, the things you're going to show here in a few minutes, the things that you're going to go over, and you know, son, on previous shows with you and on previous shows with the Llama and other people, I've been talking about what's going to happen with the weather for years. And it's because we are allowing this electromagnetic pollution to, you know, eat up our atmosphere. We're not paying attention. We're not grounding it down. We've got chemtrails being sprayed. We're getting poisoned in our food, our water. Everything is being, you know, tainted. I mean, they don't even let some of the foods into other countries that we eat here in the United States, right? Which is getting a lot of people overweight. I mean, I think that, 2/3 of the population now are overweight, right? Including myself,
And me.
and you, and I'm sure a lot of other brothers and sisters that are watching this. And, it's interesting because when I head over to Dominican Republic and I'm there for any length of time, say I'm there for a 90-day period of time, and I do the exact same thing that I do here, I'm literally losing weight. And the food and the fruit, I mean, I ate a banana here today that's supposed to be organic. It did not taste organic to me. And, it was horrible. And so it's interesting, the weather, they're really getting ready to release massive weather, besides the fact that what's happening with the biosphere, with our, getting eaten up, all of this electromagnetic pollution, and then the chemtrails and what they're spraying there, they're unleashing the weather weapons too. And I hear they're going to be, it's going to be biblical. Some people won't make it through it. And that's why I say it's so important for you to work on your pillars of yourself, your relationship with the creator, a personal relationship where you spend time every day. Okay. Doing some kind of breathing exercises, I do Tai Chi Gong. You can do whatever you want. I tap, I do my breathing exercises. I open up my portals. Okay. Practicing, unconditional love, unconditional forgiveness. Son, you know how I used to be, right?
Yes.
When I was young, I was a crazy son of a bitch. Okay. I mean, it wouldn't take me 2 seconds to grab somebody by their throat and lift them up and carry them across the room. Right or wrong, son. If they disrespected. If they came in my home or my business and disrespected me and my family or my team, they would feel my wrath. Okay. And I can tell you the difference between who I was then, and that's a lot to do with what happened to me with my father and my whole growing up. But, we got to be a lot calmer with what's going on, so we're not feeding this negative energy, because this negative energy is also feeding all this natural disaster. So the natural disaster is being, coming from everywhere. It's coming from the people being negative to each other, the people dwelling on the problems and feeding their energy there, the electromagnetic pollution, the weapon warfare, weather warfare going on. Woo!
Yeah.
I mean,
and Pop. So, do you remember like when all the when Lahaina happened, bro? And the only thing that survived was blue roofs. Remember that? So
yep.
now, dude, everybody in China is putting blue roofs out, right? And I showed this video before how the laser doesn't register with the blue, but this is new. I just talked about this in my last podcast, and shout out to one of my followers. He sends me all this great information. Now they're actually selling that blue roof rollouts in the United States. So what are they telling us with that? They never sold that shit before. And now you can go ahead and buy some, guys, and roll it out on your roof. So who knows what they're getting ready for, because they like to hit us with predictive programming. It like Donut says, it's a form of priming, right? Priming the populace for these type of events, like the situation that we just had. Oops, sorry. I meant to remove that from the stage. The situation we just had in Australia. Shout out to all my followers from New Zealand and Australia. We have a lot of people that follow us from there, believe it or not, and I love y'all. So Australia sent into panic by 8.2 magnitude earthquake and tsunami warning. Now, this, guys, was allegedly it was an accident. They didn't mean to do this to you, they said, right? But they didn't even tell you it was a warning. So some residents of Eastern Australia experienced a brief panic on Wednesday morning after the Bureau of this just happened sent out a test tsunami warning to residents across New South Wales, Queensland, and as far inland as Cambria, whatever that is. Probably butchered the name. The alert, which was part of a test of new software, referenced an 8.2, you know how big that would be, magnitude earthquake off New Zealand coast, and triggered alarms, for the tsunami. And that was the Sydney Morning Herald reported on this. So when this went out, Dad, everybody thought it was real. And you know how the military, they like to test things, but that's a form of predictive programming and priming right there too.
Well, they also think that if they pre-warn you that their karma, they're not gaining that negative karma because they pre-warned you.
Yep.
So a lot of things are right in our face. We just don't look for it, don't study it, don't, acknowledge it. But they warn you about a lot of stuff. But you're going to see serious earthquakes, serious tsunamis, serious everything going on of what they got planned. Let's say I don't want to get involved in the political side of this equation, but we got the light and the dark in a battle, and neither side's going to give in. And either way it goes, it's not going to be, like daisies and sunshines and butterflies and bouquets after whoever, continues to hold on to power or not, or want to, because there's going to be a lot of stuff going on. And I think that everybody's got to get ready for it. If they're not, I mean, I am, and I've been getting ready, and I'm going to go through it positively and with faith and lots of prayer and lots of declaring and decreeing and meditation. And we're going to get on the other side of it. I really, truly believe that. And, me going through what I went through my childhood, and you know a lot about that, son, even though my dad and I were best friends when he passed away at only 54 years old. But I got to tell you, I've never seen anything like I'm seeing right now with what we've got going on with all of this energy, which is going to start releasing the stuff you're showing. Like even though that was a test, I could believe that you will be seeing those kind of magnitude earthquakes happening soon because of all the this negative energy and this electromagnetic pollution and the weapons and all of the things that are feeding it massively.
And they always tell on themselves with the numbers. And my people are very well versed in numerology, and that 32 number is one you guys know I've been telling you to watch out for some time now, which in Chaldean Nephilim is 32. So and at 11:32 a.m. is when the warning of this, not 11:33, which 11:33 would have been two master numbers. They did it at 11:32, and they did that for a reason. The other number you can see in there, it was at the top, the 8.2, which we've been covering, 8228, that number tied to Osiris for a long time as we're getting ready for the rise of this whole Antichrist system and all that. But it's nothing to fear, guys. They're going to try to pull their little scenarios, and it's nothing to be scared of. Not at all. Just like we got two moons coming up, Dad, we got two moons coming up, and then we got this ring of fire eclipse right after it. So the two moons.
You know what's been going on the last couple of months in the heavens? It's very interesting that a lot of, with all these eclipses and blood moons and solar solstice and all these things that have been happening, it's interesting how they always wanted you, when you're in some of these churches, they're like, oh, you can't look at the sky in heaven for signs and wonders. Well, yeah, you can, because that's how the Creator's speaking to us. Yeah. And it has been lit up over the last couple months like crazy. It's been lit up for the last few years. I mean, even with the Revelation 12 sign in 2017, remember?
Yep.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Yeah. So now we're having two moons. That's for real. We're going to have two moons that we're going to see for how long?
They said it could be that day. And look, they're trying to tell us that we've had it happen before. But I've been on this planet 41 years, and I never seen no damn two moons. So, I mean, they're just trying to normalize things that ain't normal. I think it's all tied to this event, Dad, the whatever you want to call it, plasma apocalypse, Phoenix phenomenon. People are shifting into different timelines. There's all kinds of craziness going on right now. And this ring of fire eclipse is going to be huge. That's on October 2nd. So that's right after the two moons. The two moons happen on here. Let me pull up
There was a big moon last week. It was on fire. I mean, you know what I mean, as far as the energy.
Well, this is
I'm telling you, we're getting primed. You know, again, we're in the age of Aquarius, right? With the Pluto retrograde. And if you look at back, remember we went back to when did that happen before and what happened? Well, it was back
yes.
after the 1776 situation, a couple like decades there, and that whole transformation. Then you go back into it again. It was another a couple, whatever, many years back, hundreds years or whatever, and then you're going into the reparation and all this. I mean, every time this planets and these things are happening, massive change happens, massive disruption. Um, yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Well, what interests me is that the date that they picked for these two moons, that's the date CERN was founded in 1954 on September 29th, guys, which today's episode 15. So you know me, I got to drop some knowledge on you. CERN equals 15 in Chaldean. And that date is the day CERN was founded. And look, guys, they're saying we're going to have these two moons, Dad, from September 29th until November 25th. Bro, that's a
Yeah,
long period to have two moons, bro.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
They dubbed
Well,
it a new.
again, I mean, again, the heavens are for signs and wonders, and we've been getting signs and wonders in amazing ways. Um, it's just going to continue to shake more and more and more to bring more people to their basically to their knees, to the understanding that you know everybody wraps up all of this stuff that it's you know everything's fighting, politics are fighting, religion's fighting, everything's fighting, everybody's right, no one's, you know, when no one's willing to sit down and compromise or you know talk, you know, it's great separations happening that I've been talking about for years. You know, we're between, we just can't be governed by each other, and it's gonna be a roller coaster ride. It's gonna be a roller coaster ride. The fear porn is at the highest level that you could, you know, take it to, but also as these things, everybody's feeding into the fear porn and they're fueling it more and more and more and more. You know, I'm almost done with the Gnostic Bible now, and you know it goes through Islam, it goes through Manchurian. I mean, it goes through a lot. It's almost like it's 800 and some pages. And I got to tell you, you know, when we let the powers to be control the editing of the religion, right, and all the documents, the books, and all the things they're hiding, and all the things they're doing, um, you know, all of this stuff's coming out. You know, look what happened to whether it's, I don't know if it's a false flag or whatever with Diddy, right? But they're all, you know how many
Well,
people were involved in all those parties too. I mean, all this, you know, it's funny that Cat Williams guy said all truths, all, you know, all lies will be, you know, known in 2024. Now, I'm not saying every single lie on the planet will, but it sure looks like this is starting to accelerate. You
oh
know, as the
boy.
dark gets darker, the light's going to get lighter, and the battle's going to be brewing here in the physical 3D, but also in the spiritual side, 5D and above, 4D and above, like I don't think any time in history.
Wow. Yeah, that's I think a lot of truths are coming to fruition now, like, you know, coming out, and that has to do with the energy we under with the dragon and all that. But yeah, there's a lot of truth in what Kat said for sure. And from so this period, Dad, when the two moons start, is 57 days, which is 1 month and 27 days. 57, guys, is law of attraction, right? So oh, let me pull up our calculator over here. Sorry, me and Dad was looking at some stats before the show. So what do we know with what they're doing is a form of ancient alchemical magic, and what are they trying to attract right now? What type of energy? And we know birthing is 57, and they're birthing of the Antichrist, but law of attraction is 57. See, and that 57-day period, that's a pretty crazy period. If you remember, Doja Cat's Decode, that's when we first learned about this 127 connection. And shout out to Ania Saru. You know, I always pay homage when I learn something. And he got me hip to it. I was doing a podcast with me and Ani, and he is like, yeah, that 127 number is very significant, because I was breaking down the number 128, which we know is connected to a lot of things. But 127, let me just break that down for you, because it's the time frame we have. This moon is 1 month and 27 days. So that's going to play a huge role as here. Let me get down here. Okay. Remember her Scarlet Album, guys? Scarlet Album was 127. And during 9/11, you had buildings 1, 2, and 7 fall, right? Scottish Rite of Freemasonry is tied to this number, Bavarian Illuminati. Then Pearl Harbor, which took place on 12/7, and it's tied to Ground Zero. Fast forward to the Lahaina fire, which ignited precisely 127 days after Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson announced his new film, where he portrays Maui, the Polynesian fire god. So he comes out, he's talking about his new film where he is he's the god, the Polynesian fire god. Then 127 days later, boom, Lahaina pops off. So, and we've seen that code tied to Ground Zero, buildings 1, 2, and 7, you know, and Pearl Harbor happens on 12/7. So it's not usually too good of things tied to that number. So I bet you this is going to be a bumpy ride, these 1 month and 27 days here, which is also 8 weeks and 1 day, guys. Well, 8 weeks and 1 day, what's that equal? If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure it's ritual. And we know they love that one too. This is why they always pop off major events on August 1st. You know, oops, sorry. That's that ritual number in English ordinal. See? Ritual 81. It's also in reverse ordinal, so you have it in both English and reverse. Just to give you a brief breakdown on the numerology of it all. And then they say we got this new one, Dad, heading down there towards Florida. Did you hear about Helene? Hurricane Helene?
Just looking at that on the BP watch, and they're talking about that thing could come to shore as a Cat 5. These things are just going to continue to intensify. Some of these to where they're going to have a new category for them. You know, and again, until we address the weather warfare is a problem, but until we address the electromagnetic pollution and we start grounding all of this stuff and we start pulling them chemtrails out of the air and we start getting this earth in a more of a positive vibration, that you're going to be seeing a lot more of this, And all I can say is every day I go through my prayers and I'm praying for all you brothers and sisters. I mean, the light shines on the evil and the just, right? The rain falls on the evil and just. I pray that all people, you know, wake up and, you know, get on the other side of the equation and, you know, get your relationship right. Get your relationship right with the creator of all things, the point of origin that's nobody created, that's always been there and always will be there, regardless of what your religion is. You know, there's one point of origin. There's one entity, the invisible Father, the Heavenly Father, whatever you want to call the point of origin, that's always been and always will be. And without it, nothing exists. Nothing can live. Nothing can stand. And again, I hear the creation story over and over in a bunch of different religions and different names about the Father and then the Mother and the Son and the Christ. And look, it's the Christ is mentioned. You notice how Christ is mentioned in a lot of the religions too, TJ?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Well, in Islam, Jesus Christ is a prophet, so they honor Jesus. They don't, you know, there's some religions where they really hate him, but you know, they love him. They don't disrespect him. That's why I think all religions, I would like to see everyone unite, because they try to divide us. And if you guys were wondering where this house collapsed, that was down in the Outer Banks in Carolina. So they're supposed to be doing some state of emergency down there based on this.
But that's kind of stupid anyway, son, building your house like that, right?
Yeah, I mean it is
you know.
stupid. I mean, let's be real. I was thinking that too, Dad. I was like, damn, whoever built their house there.
Why don't you just put it on the waves and put a couple anchors down there, you know?
Yeah, it's not too bright. But dude, so Japan's underwater, a lot of the southern states, you got most of Europe is underwater too. And then there's all these like whatever they call them, FEMA camps or help camps going up everywhere. But I told you guys what I think they're doing.
Let me ask you a question, TJ. You're
Yes,
very smart, and your audience is very smart, and I want you all to put this in the comments. Why do you think they would use weather weapons to cook up big hurricanes to send right towards Florida and Georgia and South Carolina, North Carolina, Louisiana, all of that? Why would they do it? You know why they would do it? What's getting ready to happen on November 5th?
The election?
Oh, yeah. Where that's all red there, right?
Yeah.
Right? That's all red. That thing comes in, it could take things down where there won't even, you know, I don't even know if there'll be one. You know what I mean? I really don't care one way or another because I can't stand the federal government, period. You know, they need to go back to the Constitution, which allows them to do 5 things, and that's it. And the people have the power and the local communities. And then, you know, as it goes out to the states, you know, it needs to go back to the way it was laid out. The Republic was laid out. So let them fall apart. Let them go to hell, all of them. But at the end of the day, now we're getting hit with the big Cat 5, right? It's coming right for that whole area.
Right.
You know, so watch. This is going to be an October and the rest of this year and into the first quarter, plus maybe into the summer. Hold on, brothers and sisters. Hold on. Get up early. Get into prayer. Get into meditation. Join the Patriots Club at patriotsclub.com/Truth Mafia. Join the free community. Both are free, 100%. Start praying for other people. Start meditating with other people. Start joining and collaborating with people in your own backyard. You're going to need it. You're going to need it. You're going to need it. Get to know your neighbors. Get your family to get a plan together as you're going through this. Look, we'll get on the other side of it. We're going to get on it. Maybe not all of us. Some of us will. But at the end of the day, we got to do this. Everything's built on quicksand. Everything is built on quicksand. Everything, the financial system, the government, all the pillars of society are built on quicksand.
Yep. I mean, they definitely, dude, this little David dude has to be a bot because I done blocked him like 7 times and Facebook just keeps letting him come back in. So, you know, man, they got their little bots. They don't even let you block the trolls. It's crazy. But, yeah, man, it's getting nuts. This is what the news said. Let's take a little listen to what.
Yeah, I could care less what a bot says or somebody down in mommy's basement.
Oh no, I know, Pops. Yeah, I don't pay them too much attention myself. It's just funny that when you try to block them, it doesn't allow you to block them. That's hilarious to me.
Is headed for Florida. The storm's expected to make landfall tomorrow with life-threatening storm surge and damaging winds. Mandatory evacuations are underway with a state of emergency in effect for dozens of counties. And flash flooding is also a major concern. Let's bring in Roy Ramos of our ABC affiliate in Miami with more. Roy, where are you right now and what kind of preparations are you seeing?
Well, we are at Mills Pond Park. This is an area in Fort Lauderdale where residents are really taking full advantage of a sandbag distribution opportunity. Take a look right here behind me. You can see them now loading up those sandbags. And if you know, the South Florida area does have areas that are prone to flooding. These residents really taking no chances as Hurricane Helene intensifies and is expected to bring with it, as you mentioned, wind and rain. Now, in the past, we have seen rain coupled with king tides and storm surge, which has really proven to be a recipe for disaster. with residents losing everything in some cases. Now, in fact, I spoke with one woman early this morning who lives in the area of Edgewood, who tells me that she lost 2 vehicles in the past, so she was loading up with sandbags here today to make sure that doesn't happen. Now, we've just gotten a little bit of a reprieve from the weather over the past few moments, but we had heavy downpours early this morning, which gave residents a little bit of a heads up of what they could be expecting over the next few days. So they are, again, not taking any chances, loading up with these sandbags and trying to protect their homes as best they can. Diane?
So, you know, they're prepping for the floods, Pops, down there in Florida. We got...
Yeah, I told Jennifer, you know, your sister, I said, she was talking about, oh, I like Florida. I'm like, I mean, I wouldn't live in Florida for anything. You could give me a house down there. You could give me property. And I would never live in Florida with the way this whole thing is shifting, with the way things are going.
It was nice, you know, when we moved there, because I remember I was in my freshman year, and we moved from New York to Florida, and it was a nice change and stuff. But there's a lot of demonic energy down there too. I got in a ton of trouble down in Florida. I mean, it's just, you know, it's crazy. When you go to New York, you feel this energy like that you never feel anywhere else. You know, every time I go back, I feel it, and I like the energy there. But I definitely couldn't live there now because the energy just doesn't vibrate with my energy that I have now. But you know, when I was young and crazy, yeah. But Florida, I don't know. It's hard to explain. You just feel like something bad's going to happen when you're down there, you know. And I think it is. I think eventually something probably will happen pretty significant down there, just like in California. I believe not too far off in the future, that'll probably be at the bottom of the ocean, you know.
Well, so one of the brothers was in here on the comments talking about how they're steering hurricanes with EMF. You know, electrical, you know, frequencies, waves like HAARP and stuff. And they can. And they can do a lot of stuff. I mean, just like that GeoStorm situation, that movie, right? GeoStorm. There's a lot of things they can do, and there's a lot of things they will be doing. And that over there where that hurricane's going is a great way to interrupt the whole freaking election. Think about it. Take out Florida, take out all of that, make it into rubble. And then, you know, no one can vote because everybody's just trying to survive. And, you know, you're going to see a lot of things like that, I think, happening. And, you know, I seen another comment about how they were saying for years they've been talking about, you know, the fourth quarter in 2024 and all of 2025 being like hell on earth and just, you know, just trying to survive. Look, I think it will be like that for some people and it won't be for others. But it's going to be probably like that for the majority of the people.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. Oh wow! So guys, I'm back here looking because Dad brought up GeoStorm, so I'm back here looking at GeoStorm because I'm like, man, what was the name of the weather control technology in GeoStorm? What was called Dutch Boy? Remember, Dutch Boy was to control the Earth's climate. The system is managed by Jake Lawson, played by Gerald Butler, who initially oversees its construction. And somebody took over that technology and they were trying to like use it to wipe out the president and take over the presidency and all this craziness. Yeah. So, but here's the crazy part. What was the number we were just talking about, guys? The number 32, right? Which is tied to the Nephilim and all that. Well, guess what Dutch Boy is? 32. It's in that 30. You also got 322 in primes, right? And then HAARP was patented on 8/11, the 223rd day of the year, which is the reflection of 322. And high active aurora research program is 223. You know, so yeah, man. If you haven't seen GeoStorm, I highly recommend checking it out because they put a lot of freaking predictive programming in that one. It was also a pretty good film too, GeoStorm. Yeah,
I mean, you read some of these comments, son, that folks are too many child predators down here in Florida. Yeah,
that is probably true.
It's sad. You know, our babies. You know, I look at my little Noah. I was telling you earlier, son, my little grandson Noah. He was looking in my window here. He loves me to hold him and spin him in my chair in the morning and just laughs and laughs. And you can just feel such a wonderful energy and a beautiful soul. And I really, really can't wait till we get to the other side of this. And, there's casualties of war. Some will make it through it. Some won't make it through it. But if we get through it, we will get through it and come on the other end for the children. And and for the future generation. A lot of these youngsters are starting to wake up. That's a good thing, and we just got to continue to pray, continue to declare and decree, and continue to make sure that we're prepared. I got a water to air machine. If you can't get a water to air machine, then guess what? Get some bottled water. Get something that you can clean water with, like a life straw. Get rice and beans. Anybody can get rice and beans. And I think rice and beans and something else, son, you can pretty much live off forever. You know what I mean? With that, get some food in your house. Make sure you got a couple, a month's worth of food if you can get it. I know it's getting expensive, but you gotta start, having a plan put in place because, Cindy and I were watching the movie series from quite a few years ago, Jericho. I never seen it with a nuclear.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah,
and so she was saying, "Oh, this could happen to us at any time." I said, "Well, if it does, it does. Then what do? We take care of surviving every day." I think Brother Mike said that. Mike Roder. He just said that in the comments. About survival, and they always show you what they will do to us in the movies and shows their symbols and everything. So but again, there is no death, there is no fear. You are an eternal being. You don't ever die. You leave this matter body, but you do not die. You are a spirit being. So you don't need to fear death. You don't need to fear it. I mean, actually, near-death experiences, people don't want to come back.
Yeah, a lot of times.
Almost every time they don't want to come back. They're sent back because they have still more mission that they have to do. But the majority of the people want nothing to do with coming back at all because of the love and the peace and the feeling of the beauty of it all. They want nothing to do with it. So there is no fear of death. You got to get that out of your mind. You don't need to fear it. So we'll handle whatever happens. We'll handle whatever happens. See, I'm the kind of guy you don't play chicken with. I'll just push the button.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, I know that, okay, everybody's going to go back to the spirit form, including the babies, including everybody. To keep everybody living in fear and on the edge, that's what they want to do because they're sucking up that energy.
Yeah, that loosh.
Yeah, they're sucking up that energy. And, it's at the end of the day, there's nothing to fear. There's no death for your spirit. So at the end of the day, okay, how many times have you been here? In a different body. I mean, who knows what the truth is?
Right.
There's so many things. No one knows. Anybody's telling you, I know 100% of the truth of everything that's ever happened, how everything was created. I know. I got the schematics to it all. I get the blueprints to it all. It's not true. They do not know that. Okay. But at the end of the day, light will conquer darkness. Earth is evolving. It's ascending. I've never heard of two moons, but this is very interesting. This is right around the corner. It's a show. It's an absolute show. But again, getting your personal foundation in place with your spiritual connection, working on your mindset, being positive. I went through, the moving stuff, son, what was going on. And, if this would have been me back when I was your age, ooh, dogs, that would not have been a good thing. And I just handled it so much calmer and collective and not, you got to watch yourself too. You got to watch how you react to stuff and what kind of vibration you're putting out, because you're going to attract that back. Yeah. It's coming back at you.
Oh, 100%.
It's coming back at you. And, you know, when I was younger, I didn't know that as well as I know it now, because I've been watching it happen for decades to myself personally. And I've been watching it happen to a lot of other people since I've been training people for the last 20 years. Okay. And it's the way it is. It's the way the system is built. I mean, these are the business rules of existence. You know, you live and die by the tongue. You know, you live and die by what you say, what you're feeling. You know, you can live a great life. You know, again, if they end that life, you know, for everybody on this planet, then we're spirits. You know, they end this matter body, this physical matter body. You know, we're a spirit, a soul. I don't know if the soul encases the spirit. I'm not, again, I don't have the blueprints of life here. But as we ascend and as we get closer to, you know, getting in a higher vibration and in a higher density, more knowledge will be open to us, more download will happen, and it's all good. You know, there's nothing really to fear. It's just, you know, they hang this over you. They create all this fear porn. You know, you got all these infiltrators, you know, on all the social media platforms. I mean, a lot of them pitching fear porn all the time. But at the end of the day, you have nothing to fear. You never die. Your soul doesn't die.
No, it's a lot of it is massive energy harvest. You know what I'm saying? They're looshing. It's like when you're milking a cow. They're literally looshing us.
Absolutely.
It's quite crazy when you think about it. But yeah, it's nothing. Definitely nothing to fear. The two moon things I do find very fascinating because I mean I've asked everybody and people are like, "Nah, man, I've never seen two moons." But they're telling us we've had them at different times, right? And I'll show you guys. I did here. I'll load it right here. I did a little slide of what they say these two moons, and then I wanted to ask you about something else, Dad. Hold on a second. Let me load this up real quick. Did you see the podcast I did with Ishmael Perez and
I didn't get to see it, son, because I was moving, but I definitely am going to watch that
it
one.
Came out so good. It's doing really good on all the platforms too. It was a great podcast. I'm gonna chop it up. There's so many good clips in it that I gotta put out. You know, it was just awesome having them, and they both had two very different perspectives, but they got along perfect the whole time. They end up being friends after getting each other's number, and it's just cool. You know, I think that was my purpose to help bring other
Son, the
together.
more you give, the more you get. The more you give, the more you get. It's sow good seed, and you reap a good harvest. So I love to sow good seed, no matter what somebody might have done to me. I'll sow good seed, and I'm just going to continue to sow good seed because you need to do it, because the more you give, the more you get. And that's so important. Hopefully you got those two guys' links out to their websites or whatever. You know, brother Ishmael is working hard. Buy his books, everybody. You know, the books are great. I've bought them and I've read them, and they're freaking awesome. And you know, he's a good guy and he's trying hard. Is he 100% right? I don't know. Guess what? The one thing I know for 100%, and it only exists in this dimension, is time will tell.
Yeah, you don't have to agree with everything everyone says to be able to listen. He still has a lot of fascinating. I don't agree with everything he says. He has some fascinating info, but I can sit there and have a conversation with him and never argue. You know, that's not what it's about. If you feel that you got to shout someone down and argue with them because they're saying things that don't fit into your narrative, or, you know, these are people that just want to be in an echo chamber, bro. They just want to hear the same shit on repeat. That doesn't, to me, that's boring. You know, I want to hear,
you know,
things.
I mean,
I want to expand myself.
Of course, son. And I read, you know, his one book, and I'm probably a third away in the other, because I wanted to finish up the Gnostic Bible before I went into the secret government, which I know mostly about. His Art Cosmic Origin was really good. And I know that Sister Rhonda, love you, Sister Rhonda, Papa Truthful here. I know that she doesn't like the fact that he likes Trump. But listen, don't get caught up on who people like or they don't like. Okay? Really, to be honest with you, don't hate anybody. You know, we don't know
Bedell
Trump.
liked Trump. I didn't even know Bedell liked Trump until them
Yeah,
to talking.
we don't know. I don't know
I'm
any of
not gonna
that.
hold him
Listen.
for
I
that.
pray for Trump. I pray for our government, the good people in our government. I pray for people to come to an awakening to save their spirit, or their soul, or however that works. Right? Is the spirit encased in the soul, and the soul is encased in the body? I don't know. I don't know all of those particulars. I do know there's a creator.
Hopefully, he's
Point.
not one of the real, right? Hopefully, Trump is not one of the reptinoids. I hope not. There's a lot of them out there, but I hope
Well,
he's
you're
a good
finding
guy.
more and more this whole thing with P. Diddy, with his baby oil, 1,000
Oh,
bottles of baby oil. This guy's got some problems.
well, dude,
But
they've been saying, I mean, look how many people this guy has violated. Mace, he was one of the youngest. Most people they think of Mace as like a pop rapper, but if you listen to Mace's old school bar for bar, no one could battle him. He was like one of the best lyricists back in the day. He actually battled Cameron not a couple years back and just totally destroyed Cameron. And what did he do after being with P. Diddy? He quit rap and became a preacher because P. Diddy was violating him. This guy is the sodomite of the music industry. P. Diddler, the child diddler, that's his nickname. I mean, this guy's out of his freaking mind. But they say he might be a fall guy, Pops, so that they don't mention the other big names. I don't know. I really don't know.
Sister Ronnie says all roads lead to Oprah.
Oh, it might.
She's behind all this. She
It
might be
might.
one of them. She might be one of them. Also, yes, Henry. Yes, get into the prayer group. Get into the Patriots Club and join the community over there. patriotsclub.com/Truth Mafia. It's free. Then where the community. You're gonna create an account. Get in the community. Let's get in the prayer thing. I've got a prayer there for all of you to learn that was downloaded to me to learn, to help you pray that prayer, pray that prayer, pray that prayer, pray that over your family, over everybody, pray that prayer. Let's get some meditation. If I see people participating in that, if I see people taking interest in that, and as we're getting some other stuff done, I'll be, engaging. I just brought somebody in to help manage that. Then we'll spend time and I will get on lives and I will pray live and I will do meditation and we'll do, sending our positive energy to help heal this planet. We have to assist the Heavenly Father, the invisible Father, the creator of all things, the point of origin, that was never created by anything. That's always been and always will be. Okay. So if I see that happening, I'm all for it. I will be there for you all. Okay. And I just turned my camera on and off because I'm just chilling. We're having a conversation, right, son? We're just having a conversation. We're here to chill with you. Again, I missed you all. And, there's a lot of things that we're going to be doing. Next week, we're going to be talking about more about the DPEs. I have a meeting with Brother Joseph, and we're going to be talking about that. We really want to get these things out there. And again, we're getting them out there through people that have excessive amounts of money so they can, do a gifting and put one of these 300 and some units, Zeds, that need to be put out across the planet in order to start reducing this electromagnetic pollution and start reducing the harmful effects and stop it from eating up our atmosphere.
Can you show them what you're talking about?
I'm going to show them what I'm talking about. I'm going to actually show them the new site as soon as we launch it. They don't need to participate in it. There will be no way to get a Zed. It's only going to be through the qualified people. We don't want people trying to pay when they don't have the resources to do it. We want people to pay that have the resources. But the little units, the neighborhood units, the farm units, and all that, those are going to be available. And those units actually start cleaning up the freaking soil. And another thing that's a problem, okay? I mean, they've been testing these things for
besides the chemtrails.
Well, the soil, the GMO seed is so there's a farmer down the road from one of the owners And they worked on the soil. They got it into organic. They cleaned it. They let it do what it was supposed to do for years, right? And then they got the seed from Europe that has no GMO, no nothing for
An
wheat.
heirloom seed.
And yeah, and the GMO still contaminated it,
Yep.
its
Yep.
structure. This device is supposed to eliminate that frequency completely and not allow it to do that to the pure wheat, because they have contaminated our soil
Dude,
so
how is
much.
it doing that? Like Monsanto, yeah. So if there's a farmer down the street, it can pollinate the heirloom seeds and turn them genetically modified. But I wonder, that guy you're talking about, if he cleaned everything out, I wonder how it messed this shit up. You know what I mean? Like how?
Well,
did
no,
it
because of the way, because it's still there frequency wise.
It's got to be in the. They
You
got
didn't. Everything in existence has
a
a
frequency.
frequency.
Oh, 100%.
You dealt with
Why the numbers work.
everything, but you did not deal with the frequency. That's the reason why it contaminated the pure wheat from Italy.
Man, that is so.
But good news is, and I got one of them at the other house. I'm moving it over here this coming week. I'm moving that baby. Okay. And the new one is 10 times more powerful than the one I got. And the one I got is freaking awesome. Okay. I mean, awesome. And so
When
I'm
you
really
get that
pumped
move,
up.
maybe you can do a video, Pops, and show us what you got.
Yeah, I'll show you what I got, and then I'll show you what is new, because it's now all made. That this not the big Z, but the other ones are made out of copper, complete copper. Oh yeah, dude, they work much faster, and they hit 10 times more range.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, and they go up hundreds and hundreds of kilometers cleaning the air, and they clean the soil. So, and they kill that frequency of GMO. So imagine what and this is some scientist in Italy named Giovanni, and he works with some of the top scientists in the world on this particular problem, because this is really a big problem. Okay.
Well, like when we had the Tartarian Empire and all that technology, where we were actually pulling the energy out of the atmosphere, that was all clean energy. And what my dad was talking about with electromagnetic frequency, guys, ain't it kind of funny? When they rolled out the power grid, this dirty energy, that's exactly when the Spanish flu happened. And you know what I mean? Electromagnetic frequency sickness. I mean, come on, man. I think that's a big part why they hide and suppress that technology, Dad, because everything is to limit our lifespan. Everything is to, keep us sick and keep us on a lower vibrational frequency. I mean, everything.
Well, yeah, and feed
the pineal gland,
100%, and feed the industry. If you look at the industries and who controls these industries, the biggest company in each one of these industries, well, why would they not want to block our ATP channel and stop our nutrition from getting in our cells and our waste getting out? Because it then starts to kill the cells, mutate the cells. And then what starts happening? The C word starts happening. All these problems. But what does that feed? Well, that feeds the sick care industry.
Yep.
Doesn't it? And so, it's the sick care industry just in this country is like 4 point some trillion. I mean, my wife went to the hospital for 2.5 hours. They tried to give us a bill for $10,000. Didn't even give her a bag of fluids. I mean, the same time in the hospital with bags of fluids and much better care in the Dominican Republic would have cost me $200 bucks. Okay. With no care at all. It's all a big scam. You know what I mean? And it's all a big money grab. And, there's so many money grabs going on in all of these different pillars of our society. It's going to, we talk about we have the biggest, economy in the world. But if you remove, the fraud, governmental fraud, industry fraud, healthcare fraud, all these fraudulent things, it wouldn't be as big, son.
And there's a lot of frauds going on, ain't there?
Oh, I mean, in the trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions a year.
It's quite unreal. And then the pharmacy, Dad. So people don't even realize that after World War II, that's when we set up the modern day pharmaceutical industry that we have here now. And I mean, look, we brought over all the best top scientists from over there with the guy with the little stupid mustache that ran World War II, the Nazis, and they were the ones that set up our modern day pharmaceutical industry. And what did God tell us? That all nations will be deceived by pharmakia, which is a form of witchcraft. You know what I'm saying? So it's in the Bible. It tells you. It literally says all nations will be deceived by this. And I mean, you can't say they're not, because look what they did with the whole, the code red.
Well, yeah, and this is why I got involved in Bodyline and involved in these technologies that are solutions, right? Because I am, after losing Joey, your uncle, and then losing my mom and watching my grandma suffer and die and wither up, Grandma Thompson. It's just, why does 2/3 of the world use energy wellness, energy medicine? You got to treat the spirit, the energy body. Everything happens in the energy body. Everything happens. And that's why, we have those two different companies, sponsors, scrolling on the bottom of this video, Bodyline and I Want My Health Back, because both of those products are helping you get your body back into alignment so it can do all its own work for itself like it's supposed to, and also get your energy body in a tip-top shape to help protect you from all of this stuff that they're throwing at us. Because I mean, they are throwing stuff at us. I mean, when most people go in and get their energy body checked, it looks like a meteor shower hit it. The dents in it. It's supposed to be like egg shaped. You know that, son, right?
Right.
Like an egg shaped type of deal. I think I had put it. I don't know if I put it in here before. I might have put it in here. I'll look for it. But it isn't supposed to look like a round. It's like an egg shape, right, around your body. And when people get it checked, it's like beaten to hell.
Oh, your biofield you're talking about?
Your energy body. Yeah,
it looks like
field around.
It's kind of like an apple shape. It's like a torus field is what it is, actually. Yeah.
But it looks like more like almost an egg shape, but a torus field, like you said.
Yeah,
but a little bit longer.
They describe it kind of as a torus field. And all that 5G shit, dude, even when you decode it, bro, it's all demonic as fuck. They look at it. They said the agency recently tested 141 cell phones and found that when the iPhone 12 is held, remember this, guys, when the iPhone 12 was radiating people, remember that? In the hand, or the pocket, the electromagnetic energy absorbed is 5.74 watts per kilogram. So you guys remember that. So they can just turn your phone up to do that any freaking time they want. And that number is the number demonic biochip. And then 574 watts per kilogram equals 303. Well, guess what? Corona happened in the 303rd anniversary year of modern day Freemasonry. And who rolled it out first? Wuhan, China did. That's who. So, again, all nations will be deceived by pharmakia. So, I mean, it's crazy, but this does offer us some protection from that,
Well, no, it does a lot as far as, the both of those companies that we deal with help with getting the body back into balance so that it can take care of any issue, and strengthening the energy body, and also protecting it from all of this radio frequency, this bad stuff, the EMF radiation, the 5G. I mean, they've got what, 5,000 Starlink satellites up. Now a bunch of other billionaires are getting in. They're going to put more more other satellites up. Within the next decade, we might have 100,000 satellites beaming. By that time, they could be beaming down 7, 8G.
Right.
I mean, could you imagine what's going to happen with that, when that's happening, it's not going to be good. And the good thing about it is what we're going to be talking about over the next couple of weeks, and what we're rolling out to our millionaire friends that, can do a donation, or not a donation, a gifting, whatever it's going to be, to help save our planet, for God's sakes. And, we're going to crank this thing up, but all the other ones that we're going to be able to start reversing the biosphere back, thousands of years.
Yeah,
Imagine that.
I can see you, Alexander. And yeah, man, we got to, just like the nanosoma stuff, guys. That's what helped my leg when I had all that fungus shit growing on my leg after I got bit by that spider. I thought I was going to die. And they had me on all these freaking antibiotics, which, I've had problem after problem after problem. You guys know I was recently in the hospital with my heart, my blood pressure. I'm getting all that back under control. But it's just, you're getting hit on so many freaking levels. It's crazy. And then people like me that are putting the truth out, they're really ramping it up on us. So, yeah, man, you just got to protect yourself. That's all you can do. You can't live in fear. You got to protect yourself, and I'll always pray, because, God can.
Praying is the most important thing, and not getting into fights and arguing over a bunch of nonsense, and making sure that you're securing yourself and your family, and then going out to your neighbors and, putting a plan together to make sure that you all can help each other, because it's all, it takes a village.
It does. And before we wrap up tonight, Pops, because I know you got Mama and stuff, going on over there, you got to handle. I want to ask you one thing. Did you see what happened with the freaking cell phones and pagers and radios, where freaking Israel sent a frequency and blew them all up?
Imagine that's probably in all the devices, huh?
That's what I was saying. I said, this scares me, dude, because if they could do that to them, it's Hezbollah, they're terrorists, so that's why we did it. Well, there's a lot of people, I've researched Hezbollah, like, I want to know what the hell it exactly is. And there's actually normal people in it too. They're not all freaking terrorists. And I'm a pro-life conservative, so I'm not a liberal or nothing like that. I just don't believe in murdering children and innocent people, no matter what their nationality. I have no problem with Muslims. Muslims have never done nothing evil to me. And, you got to wonder, they're seeing their children getting blown up, tortured, all this crazy shit. Well, no wonder they're getting a little irate, You kind of can't blame them. We need to stop doing that to people. It's evil.
Well, yeah. Anytime, somebody wanted to get off the gold, off the dollar, they went in and took out their country. Look what they did to
Gaddafi.
Libya. Gaddafi. And everybody was doing well over there, man.
They loved him.
They were doing well over there. They were doing well. There was no poverty. Everybody was doing well.
Dude, he gave the poor people like a couple $100 a week. That guy did. And he just, what do you want to do? He said, America, I don't want your funny money no more. If you want to buy our oil, you got to come at us with gold. And that's all it took and they sent ISIS in there, which Obama set up, the same Obama that legalized propaganda on the American people that went into law in 2013. He passed the law in 2012, but it actually went into effect in 2013. So now any of the stuff on the news, when, people are saying, oh, well, it's on the news. Well, yeah, Obama legalized propaganda on the American people. So guess what that means?
Yeah, back in 2013.
Right. They can lie. Even though they were lying before that.
That should not be the way things are.
No, man. It's ridiculous.
But look, we're going to all work together, pray together. We're going to keep letting you know what we're doing. We're working on a lot of solutions, constitutional sheriffs, Mothers for America, getting the school boards back, take our border back. We got a lot going on, and we're going to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. I'm going to never stop pushing until I'm gone. So, and then I'm going to be in paradise anyway, so I'm good to go. And all of you brothers and sisters to feel the same way about it. Make sure you're speaking positivity into your life, okay? Right?
Not
positive. I am what? I am wealthy. I am healthy. I am blessed. I am grateful. I am thankful. I am is a very powerful 2 words. Put that beautiful stuff behind it. For yourself,
and if you're having money problems, guys, you wake up.
Don't talk about it.
Yeah, wake up in the morning, do your little 3-6-9 exercises. Money comes freely, frequently, and abundantly. Money comes freely, frequently, and abundantly. Write it down, speak it out loud, put it into the universe, and then, you take the first step towards it, because you always got to take that first step towards manifesting that reality, and then the universe does the rest. It'll catch up with you. But yeah, that's what we got for today, Pops. We're at 1:09. I think we did a really amazing episode tonight. So if you got anything you want to say before we?
No, I just love you all very much. Glad to see you all again, and a lot's coming to help everybody and for people to get involved to help change this planet to the light and not to the darkness.
Amen to that, brother. And I thank you for coming on tonight, Pops. I love you, bro.
Love you too, son.
All right, guys, we're out. Smash that like button, share the video. All links are down in the description. Don't forget to go opt into the daily newsletter, and make sure you support our sponsors. If you want to decode, that link is also down below. Check us out. Truthful, out.